cheese, sauce, and a crispy chicken cutlet? Well, of course we're talking about chicken parm. And whether you've had it before or not, you have to know how to make this amazing dish at home. So let's get started. So start by getting a large pot of water onto a rolling boil and season the water before you add the pasta. Then add in your spaghetti. I'm using between 3 to 4 ounces, which is perfect for one portion. Let that get soft at the ends, and after that you can easily use tongs to twist it into the water. Let that cook for 7 to 8 minutes. Now let's get together a quick marinara sauce. So I've blitzed up some San Marzano type tomatoes in my blender here, and to start the sauce you want to add in some oil, garlic and chili flakes and get that nice and toasted. As soon as that is fragrant, add in your blitzed San Marzano tomatoes. You want some of that chunk from the tomatoes in there just for that nice body in the sauce. Give it a nice mix and then season it with some salt. I have a full detailed recipe and a video which I'll link down below if you want more details on how to get the right sauce, the right consistency, and how to nail it every single time. It's a very simple recipe. Just simmer this until it thickens slightly and the flavors just become richer and stronger. So you want that nice tomatoey flavor in your marinara with just a hint of spice. So I'm using one chicken breast, and one chicken breast, about medium to large size, is perfect for 2 portions of chicken parm. So you want to cut that at a diagonal so that each side is almost the same size and weight. And I've just laid it out onto my cutting board between 2 sheets of plastic wrap. Then you want to use a meat tenderizer, or in my case a rolling pin, to pound the meat thin. The thickness you want is between 1/3 to 1/2 inch. So here are your 2 perfect portions. And now we can start the actual breading process. So we have our flour, which we'll season with some salt and pepper. It's going to be very simply seasoned. Then crack an egg and we'll lightly whisk that for our wet mixture. And then for the breadcrumbs, I like to use panko because that's the best thing you can use for the crispiest crust. So your breading station is set, and you can start by adding the chicken to the flour. And you can use some tongs or actually wooden skewers, which works great with this, and I'll show that to you in a bit as well. But get that nicely dredged in the flour and then move it onto the egg mixture. And as you can see here, I'm using the wooden skewers to really navigate that egg all over that chicken without getting my hands all gooey. Then transfer it onto the panko, and you want to nicely coat each side. Now you have to get your hands a bit dirty because to really get that beautiful crust, you want to press on the breadcrumbs directly on that chicken to really put that onto and into the surface of that chicken. That's really going to help guarantee a crispy crust every single time and prevent any breading from just falling apart when you put it in your oil. I'll be doing another video where I'll show you how to make a baked version. I'll actually be doing it in the air fryer, and that video will be out very soon. So keep a lookout for that and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Now once your chicken is already breaded, you can actually put this in the fridge and use it at a later date. Or you could freeze it and then take it out whenever you're ready to cook it, and you already have a breaded chicken. So we'll be shallow frying our chicken cutlet, basically a schnitzel, and I'm using canola oil. The oil should be at a moderate temperature, nothing too hot, because if it's too hot, then the breadcrumbs will get too dark without cooking the inside of that chicken. So add your chicken right into that oil, and we want a light golden brown color. We don't want to go too dark here. We won't be baking this in the oven at all. It will just go in for a few minutes under the broiler. And there's the perfect crispy chicken cutlet. Now you can use this recipe and spice up those breadcrumbs or the flour and make a perfect burger, a schnitzel. You can do so many things, and I'll be coming up with those recipes very soon. So to start dressing your chicken parm, you you want to start with your marinara and make sure you leave an edge, a crust kind of, almost like making a pizza, along the sides of that chicken, because you don't want it to be completely covered in sauce. You want that crisp to remain, and that crisp will be there on the sides and the bottom. And then here I have some sour cream, which is great with chicken parm and adds a nice creaminess and a nice sourness, which complements the saltiness and the richness of the cheese with the sauce. Then top it up with some stringy mozzarella and a snowfall of parmesan. And that's your perfectly dressed chicken parm. You want to lightly pat down those toppings because we want it to cook evenly. We don't want one side to cook more than the other, and we don't want to brown that cheese too much either. We want it to be nice and white with small amounts of brown spots. So just a few minutes, 1 to 5 minutes under the broiler, and you have a perfectly crusted chicken parm. And all that's left to do is keep that chicken warm. You can leave it in the oven with the heat completely turned off, and then heat up your sauce and add your spaghetti. If you time this perfectly, you can have it all ready at the same time. So toss the spaghetti with the sauce and then add in just a spoonful of butter. I use unsalted so I can adjust the seasoning, and then just give it a final mix. And I'm sure this is yours and my favorite part of preparing it: plating and eating. So here I have a plateful of my spaghetti and marinara, and just add your warm, cheesy, saucy, crispy chicken parm right on the side, up with some freshly chopped basil. I chopped it in ribbons or chiffonade, and you can tear it if you don't have time, or you can just add whole leaves. And there you go. That's how you make a perfect, crispy, restaurant-style chicken parm right at home. It's so easy to make, you can easily do it, and there are so many elements in this dish which you can use and reuse to make so many other kinds of recipes. Here's a quick challenge if you're up for it. Do you remember the few recipes which I told you you could make with certain elements that we used in this dish? If so, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be reading it and I'll let you know if you're right or not. If you want more videos just like this, be sure to hit subscribe, hit that bell icon, especially if you don't want to miss out on the baked version or the air fried version of this recipe. I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.